So, welcome on this online course on Warren Buffett and Buffett and Company. We'll see that he's in good company. My name is Pierre-Luc, and I will be your host. And I'm pleased to bring it to the English market. Obviously, my accent will gives me away. I'm French Canadian, but I have a passion for Warren Buffett for the last 25 years. And everything I've read on Warren Buffett was written in English, so it is almost easier for me to put stuff online and on my different PowerPoints slides in English than in French, because in French I had to translate everything. So, of course, if you are on this course right now, chances are that you are a financial advisor, financial planner. You are in the financial industry, because my course is designed and market to you. And of course, you will have your PDU, your credits for your group investment plan or stuff like that. So there is no problem there. Just follow the course, answer the question at the end, and of course, you will have your certificate. In the meantime, I want to make it fun, and when you, I will say candid. I will try to. I don't know if I will be able to make jokes, but I will try to make it fun for you to learn more about who is Warren Buffett and what he has done, what he has accomplished, why we should listen to him, what he has to say about investment, what are his techniques. We are not into his head, but we have there is many books that have been written about him, and the biggest one is is not in. If you can see at my back, there is my library there. It's not all the books I have on him, but I have tons of them out there. And there is one that has been written by Kilpatrick. It's not on sale usually in the different libraries, but as you can see, it's pretty thick, Mr. Kilpatrick. It is the 2006 version that I have bought when I was there, and it is pretty interesting book. So a lot of things has been written about Buffett for good measure, for good reasons, and it's all about value investing. So why study him? I would say for storytelling purposes, when we are into an encounter with our customers and we want sometimes to tell a story or to have a quote, and it helps to build on what he has done, because nobody has done anything like that in the past 60 years. So everybody knows a bit about him, but nobody knows really deeper. So you'll be able to know more about him, what he has done, and I hope it will be help you to understand more what is value investing, and I hope it will help you more in your encounter, in your when you meet with customer, with client. So we continue, and one of the and what you have right now is the exact PowerPoint presentation I give when I am asked to go into a group and to teach sessions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hour sessions on Warren Buffett. You have right now those exact slides, and I have made them available to you for download if you want. Yeah, there is no problem there. They are yours to watch and to read, and to go further. And one of the quotes I love the most, because why we study those people like Buffett, it's from Isaac Newton. He has said that if I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. He was one of the most intelligent men of his time, and even him, he said that if I can do the mathematics, if I can do what I'm doing right now in mathematics and in astrology and all those calculations, it's because people before me have done some great work. So when we are in the financial world, we are now in 2018, it's good to remember the past. It's good to remember that there was a guy that was investing in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and he was on the stock market. He has seen all, and he's very candid. He has shared openly in his letter to shareholders. So we are standing on the shoulders of our giants. Reading is not for everybody, reading books, but if you are a reader or you want to become a reader, here are some examples. It's so much easier for me to recommend those books, because as you can, and as maybe you know, if you live in Montreal, we live in Quebec, all French Canadian are not bilingual and they cannot read all those books. But you're very lucky, because if you want, you can go on Amazon or any place and buy those books, and they are obviously written in English. Those I have put in front of you are from the best writers. The Warren Buffett way, if you have to, you have to. You don't have to, but if you want to begin to read a good book, the Warren Buffett way by Robert Hagstrom is fantastically written. It is at the third revisions. And Buffettology, I have taken many examples from the Buffettology book that you see in the far left. That book has been written by Mary Buffett, who is the former. She has kept her last name, strategy or marketing, I don't know. She was married to one of Warren Buffett's son, and she has written some very good insight in a way to be able to understand more, because a lot of books are biography or about the deals, but we don't dive into how he thought, and we don't have examples. In my course, you will have examples on which you will be able to put your teeth in. So those are some of the books written on Warren Buffett. And those books are what I call the company he's with. The first one is Philip Fisher, Common Stock and Uncommon Profits. We don't hear him very often in the conversation, but he has influenced greatly Warren Buffett in the beginning of the 1960s for him to buy more companies that are not just dirt cheap, but that have more value and stuff like that. You have Benjamin Graham, of course, the intelligent investors, of course. If you have the chance, I told you about the Warren Buffett way. If you have the chance to buy the new edition with Jason Zweig commentary, it's a must read for everybody in the business. It's still to date in the best sellers. It has been written originally in 1949. The last revision, I think, was in 1980, something like that. I cannot praise enough that book. Security analysis, a little bit more technical stuff. You don't have to. And the other ones is Peter Lynch and Stephen Jarislowsky, The Investment Zoo. He's our Warren Buffett from Montreal, Quebec. Value investing with Charles Brandes, John Neff. All those guys have a value investing way, have put on some great work, and I have been influenced by those two. Usually in my French market, I talk about the first book written originally in French on Warren Buffett, but obviously in this course, it's not that big of a deal. In French, it's a big of a deal to have a nicely written book in French. But it goes to show you that I love it so much, and I have read so much about it, and I have so much passion for it that I wrote a book about it. So, All right, so we continue, and this is our roadmap, if you will. So we begin with the Legends roadmap. So we'll see where he comes from, what he has done, what he has accomplished, his roadmap to where he is today. The second section of our course is the one I call "Stay away from the stock market and do not worry about the economy." That one, the first time I read a book about Warren Buffett, it was in 1993, something like that. And that wasn't one of the first advice at the end of the book, that he says, stay away from the stock market. And if you think about it today, Warren Buffett lives in Omaha, Nebraska. That's not actually the first place you think somebody who is buying stock on the New York Stock Exchange. It's not the place where you think somebody will stay, and still he's in Omaha, Nebraska. So he's away from all the noise and stuff like that, physically. But even when he listens to not MSNBC, but the CNBC advice channel on stock market, he always looked at it, but without the sound. And if you have ever watched that channel, the sound is pretty effective in creating emotions. So we'll talk about that. And then thirdly, we'll dive deep into the buy a business and not a stock. That is where the mathematical and the exercise are. And that is the place where I think it will add value to the way you will look at how to analyze a stock and different metrics. And then four, the focus investing concept, one of the most interesting and mind-changing, life-changing, vision-changing book I have ever read was about Warren Buffett's portfolio and seeing how he managed a portfolio, not just companies. And that has changed the way I look at mutual funds, the way I look at investments. And I have spoken to many CFA that are studying, of course, the charter to be chartered financial analyst. And that concept, as far as I'm concerned, is not greatly broached or even conceived. And you'll see why it's so interesting. And as a mutual fund salesperson, if you are in mutual funds, you'll see how you can tweak and look and think about that. And lastly, but not least, we'll see beyond the financial success, the legacy of Warren Buffett, meaning the way, how much and how he gave away almost all of his fortune. So without further ado, the next session we'll dive into the Legends roadmap that is Warren Buffett. Thanks.